All right, here we are in the tank. It's painted. The seams are taped up. The sand is spread. And we have the dome frame on. And we're about to spread the liner. All right, so we unfold the liner and, there's a bottom seam. Try to drag that all the way to the back edge here. Flip it open a few times. And when unfolding it, we try to make sure that there's no seams going over where the flanges are. So, there's a couple, this is a bottom seam here. You don't want that on top of your flanges or exits. So after I get this spread out across the bottom, there's one upright seam, and I usually start with that, making sure that that is kicked into the bottom corner and that this is perpendicular to the tank. Then we carry on to the right or left, it doesn't really matter. And like I said, make sure that these floor seams don't go over any of your exits. All right, here we have the liner all spread out and up over the edge. What I was talking about is making sure no seams are over the flanges. So this being a bottom seam, and here is a flange right here. So we're okay, no seam over that. We have a 2-inch exit over here somewhere, right here, and no seam over that, so we're okay. Same thing on this side, no seam over that. So we have this flipped over about 1.5 feet on the outside, and my assistant is going to put aircraft cable with a turnbuckle around the top. About the second dip in, all the way around will be an aircraft cable. Alright, here we're cutting in the flanges. So once again, make sure no seams are going across your exit, and then I score the inside. Just kind of mark the circle. And then I cut this out, cut out this circle, and I push this down. Circle is cut, and then I just make sure that there's no sand or grit on the inside of this flange here. Just swipe it with my finger along the edge. And with no grit on the base of your flange, you push this circle down all the way, and it creates this sort of upturn here. So I take the point of my knife and I cut at this inside corner. I cut that nice and tight all the way around. Okay, with that cut, this comes off. You can see it sits nice and tight. Then I put, this is the gasket, goes on the water side. I put a little Teflon paste on there so it spins a little bit when I tighten it. So put Teflon paste on it. So I put a little Teflon paste on the underside of this gasket so that way when it tightens it spins a little bit. And then I put some Teflon paste on the bottom side of this nut. And this is reverse threads, so we just tighten that. All right, I spun it down hand tight, and now I have my trusty chain flail. We have our 4-inch in installed, our 2-inch exit, and our 4-inch overflow. And this is going to get a riser pipe that goes 3 inches below the top of the tank. So when the water gets up that high, it's going to go down the tube and out that and out into the field. This is our overflow pipe installed. It's 3 inches down from the top, so when the water gets that high, it goes down the tube and flows into the field, like I said. This is a floating intake. This is a 2-inch exit. It's got a flexi PVC on a tether with a buoy, and this floats 10 inches below the surface of the water, so you're getting the cleanest, most aerobic water. You're not sucking any sediments off the bottom, which would be from there, and you're not getting any pollens off the top. So this is our floating intake. It just floats 10 inches below the surface of the water. And the reason why we put a riser on our incoming water, because that's 4-inch coming off the roof, I put a riser on that because there's a clean out, and if that ever gets opened, it won't drain the whole tank. It'll only drain this column and all the water in the tube between the house and the tank. We have one cover on so far. This gets a dual cover. I usually advise 2 covers because this is 90% shade cloth, and you can see it doesn't really cut out. It looks more like 80% shade cloth, but with 2 covers it's pitch black in here and it prevents any algae. Here I just snapped a 3/4 inch line. It's about 60 feet or so. I just snap a circle in the bottom corner here just to hold the liner in place in case the wind picks up. It might be a minute before the rains come and fill this with water, so that just helps keep the liner in place.